Yeah.
We'll deal some damage to it. Especially with these inhibitor down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's going down. It's going down. It's going down for real. Do 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 do. I can keep fighting this. I can keep fighting this. Oh, the ults are real by Muriel! I knew it! I knew it! I could do it! Fuck you, Iggy! I'm still fighting! I'm still fighting! I got lifesteal in this bitch! And a Muriel! Fuck with me! Fuck with me, Muriel! Fuck you! I'm coming for you, bitch! I survived that! Woo! Oh, hello all you beautiful people out there. What's going on? This is your friend Riddick coming at you fast with another Beast Builds video. Y'all already know what this one's about. We about to play some of that Wangalang. Just kidding. We're gonna look at his deck. But we have been playing a lot of Wangalang, Bitch Poontang Slayer. And let me just say, he is pretty much a goddamn pimp. Alright, he's a pretty beast of a Slayer. Alright. Looking at his stats, he's pretty durable, and he's got pretty decent attack damage on his basic attack as well. And also, of course, with all of his abilities and his crowd control, he's pretty gnarly, man. He's pretty nice. You just gotta know how to play him. He's kind of difficult to play, so I'm still getting used to playing him, but I have had a lot of success with him and this deck, so let's go ahead and check out Kwang Build decks. Alright, so he is Corruption and Order, which is the first Corruption and Order hero that we've gotten in Paragon, which is pretty goddamn awesome, okay? Which, because of this, he is able to have a lot of balance when it comes to just armor, lifesteal. You can build him pretty tanky. Order is a really good attribute, affinity, for building tanky heroes. And we're going to build him hybridy. We're going to build him a bit more on the damagey side than Greystone, than the way we build Greystone, but we are going to do it in a similar way. So with the Prime card, we have the Warlord, of course. You already know we want to deal a lot of damage when we get that Orb Prime, clear lanes quicker, deal more damage to towers. Because he does even build tanky, it's okay. We don't really need too much tankiness. Alright, I run Warlord on Greystone as well, because again, you get a plenty amount of tankiness from this deck as you go with it. I have a lot of stuff here, depending on whether or not I'm going to be laning or jungling. The thing about Kwang Build is that he is very versatile. Okay, he can solo lane, he can jungle, and he can even play as a support. Now, obviously, a Muriel is going to be way better than a support 100% of the time, but he can still play support. So depending on what you're doing, you're going to have different stuff. If I go solo lane, I go strike token, health pot, or maybe strike token, health pot, harvester key if I want to plant that harv key right away. If I go jungler, then I go health pot and executioner's key off the bat, because that's only 2 points. So I can get those harvs right away and get a good XP bonus off the start. Because 2 harvesters is pretty much one whole level when you're between levels 1 and 5, which is pretty amazing. So obviously you want to get that good head start, so you get that ult early and you can start ganking people earlier. And that's usually how we start, okay? But I do prefer him in solo lane the most, all right? So the first thing that we're going to build is, of course, our wards, all right? We need wards, all right? That's the reason there's a ping in the game that says, "We need wards!" exclamation mark. So I like to go with Brawler's ward. Now, I do have Guardian's ward, but Kwang is a bit mana hungry, okay? Especially with his, what's it called? Not Judgment of the Heavens, but Reign of the Heavens or something. The one where he throws a sword, okay? I don't remember the name of the ability, but the one where he throws a sword, okay? That actually costs a lot of mana, and tying that together with his ultimate and all of his other abilities also costs a good bit of mana. So we just want a little bit of mana off the start, okay? 75, it's not too much, but it is the difference between casting another one of those Judgment of the Heaven lightning bolts, which could give you more armor and more damage to everybody around you in a team fight, which is always really good. And we're going to hit it with 3 minor strikes right off the bat to get that fully upgrade bonus right away. Now, the next thing that we're going to go with usually depends on how much we are steamrolling the other team, but I do like to go with a little bit of health after that in the beginning, so we're going to go ahead and use Quartzblade with 3 lesser healths attached to it. That's going to give us a really good amount of health in the beginning. It's going to let us be as tanky as we need for the first 10 to 15 minutes. That's really going to help us out. That's going to be a total of 500 bonus health on top of what we have. And the reason I like using Quartzblade is because it also gives us some damage, and it also gives a little bit of mana regen. Like I said, okay, he's very dependent on that mana, so it's nice to have some Quartzblade. If you feel like you don't really utilize his abilities too often to the point where you need to use that mana, then you can trade this out for Amulet of the Veteran, which will substitute that 0.3 mana regen for another extra 100 health. It's all up to you, but especially if you're jungling, you're using his abilities a lot to deal damage to the jungle as well. So that's why I like using Quartzblade. Okay. After Quartzblade, I like to start doing some more damage. Okay, we're not building tanky just yet. I like to be a bit more damaging. So I don't switch anything out, rather. I replace the Executioner's Key and your starting material at this point. And I go with Adamant Edge with 3 major strikes. And I know this is crazy, all right? 3 majors. We're doing that right now. And the reason behind this is because he does a lot of burst damage early on. If you land his tether with his sword, if you land his shock ability, okay, with the Judgment of the Heavens, and then you ult in, you can deal a very significant amount of burst damage in a team fight, or at least to a single enemy, especially early-ish on in the game in the first 20 minutes, once you get 12 points of damage from this card. Pretty goddamn awesome. Plus, this also gives you a bit more health, so who doesn't want that? Okay, now comes the point where we want to get some more resistance. Okay, we want some more resistance. And at this point, it now starts to depend, again, what kind of resistance that they have, for the most part, what they start off with. But what I like to do is, if you notice, I don't really have any cards here that are specifically for health. Okay, we don't stack too much health on him because we got a bit more damage with this build, like I said. But what we do is we go with Toon Barrier over here, and we go with 2 healths and a barrier in this Toon Barrier as an upgrade. We throw out our Quartzblade and we replace it with Toon Barrier. So now we still have the same amount of health. We still have that 500 health as we did in the beginning, but now we have more armor. Okay, we got the 22 initially, the 44 from the barrier, and the 44 from the full upgrade bonus. That's going to leave us with 110 for now, which is definitely better later on in the game than that little bit of mana regen and the 6.5 damage that you get from Quartzblade. So that's why we're going to throw out Quartzblade and go with Toon Barrier for some health and for some resistance. But if there's a lot of physical damage on the other team to the point where, okay, you need to get it, like, let's say they have an enemy Sparrow that's 7-0, super fed, then start off with Tempered Plate. And this, right off the bat, has 3 greater guards in it, just all in, going with a lot of guard here. And I'm going to explain why we have so much defense on this deck in a second. Okay, it all comes together soon. So you have the Tempered Plate and the Toon Barrier at this point. Okay, now the 5th card that you typically want to build is Satori Cloak. Okay, this is going to give us a bit more resistance because we are lacking on the energy resistance. Okay, our physical guard is 264 after all of these upgrades, which is a lot. Okay, it soft caps at 240, but the reason you want a bit more is because of pen. Okay, and we only have 110 energy at this point, so we throw on a Satori Cloak. Alright, and we get ourselves another 110 energy armor from Satori Cloak. So now we're a bit more even when it comes to energy resistance and physical resistance. And then you have Satori Cloak's passive, which is the whole reason we build so much armor. Okay, for those of you who don't know what Satori Cloak is, I'm going to show it right here. On hit with basic attack, shred enemy physical armor and or energy armor equal to 50% of your current physical armor and or energy armor value for 4 seconds. Okay, so this is pretty awesome because what it does is it shreds. All right, it's not just energy, it's not just penetration. Okay, it's not just physical damage penetration, it is shred. So your entire team, when hitting that enemy that gets their armor shredded, will deal more damage if that enemy has armor that is now shredded for 4 seconds. Okay, This is a really, really, really good card for tanky heroes such as Greystone and now Kwang, because it capitalizes now and turns all of that defense into some more offense and helps out with that. Pretty goddamn awesome. I got some shit cooking in the kitchen. It is ready, my dude. So let's finish this up real quick, okay? So there we go. So now, there's a Satori Cloak, and the 6th card that we're going to do is Windcarver Blade for more attack speed and more damage. The faster you attack, the more armor you can shred off of the enemy quicker using that Satori Cloak passive, plus it gives you more DPS, plus a bit more damage in the end. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed. I did put the description of this build in the description, like always. And as always, if you did enjoy and it was helpful, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day. Peace.